Thanks for tuning in. Beautiful sunrise. None of the sport boats have been catching any yellowtail, which is crazy because we're almost at the end of August. It's been the coolest summer in 60 years or something like that in Southern California, and the yellowtail just haven't come up yet. But we're in the hottest heat wave of the summer right now. Today's day 3 of the heat wave. It's been over 100 up in Ojai. Maybe that will warm the ocean that 1 degree locally that we need to bring in the yellowtail. I don't know. I've been watching the sport boats bring in 0 to 1 yellowtail maybe, and they're out there with 30 anglers every day, so who knows, maybe today's the day that they show up at the islands, and we'll be there waiting for them. Thomas is driving all the way up from San Diego. It's at least a 3-hour drive. There's gotta be something wrong with that kid. So the plan is looking for any type of pelagics on the way to the islands. Pelagic species have been known to be caught even in the channel, and they haven't been caught by people who weren't prepared. So we're going to be prepared, even though it might be unlikely. Today could be the greatest day of our lives, like any day. Then when we get to the islands, we're going to look for yellowtail, sea bass. Most likely, we're going to catch sheephead, sashimi it on the boat. I'm bringing the wasabi and soy sauce. Calico. I predict that Nathan is going to catch about 5 opali and half moon, and a couple decent sheephead. I think that Thomas is going to get a massive sheephead, and I'll be happy to see the new guy get his first spearfish, opali. I'll probably catch a sheep's head first thing, put it on ice, and get it ready to sashimi for the boat. All right, a couple minutes away from the dock. Here we go.
Don't get LeBron in the video. He's wanted.
Like ice or something?
I don't know.
Alright.
Should be good. We should bring this just in case.
Yeah, for sure.
Got your suit lube?
Should be in there somewhere.
We got extra lube.
Good. Great.
Maybe on the bottom. Yeah, there it is. Right there.
All right. What is this? This looks like a 7.
No, it's 5 more.
Okay.
It's thicker than this?
Yeah. You got a paper clip?
Oh, for the ears?
Yeah.
We'll see if we need to do that. All right. I think we're probably good, right? You got gloves?
Should be gloves in there too.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we have everything in there. I don't think. Yep.
All right.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
Let's go.
We're gonna go to the bathroom. All right, here we go. buy Mylar balloons for birthday parties?
Yes, at least 12.
Alright, welcome to the Channel Islands National Park. Today we're beginning looking for yellowtail, even though we don't think they're around. We try a few spots, and here we can see there's not a lot of bait, actually very little current here, and so it's unlikely we're going to find yellowtail. Here's another drop. We're trying a different spot. We're putting a few divers up and down the coast at each spot. And in the beginning we didn't find much, and so we moved on. On our way to the next spot we found a kelp patty, and I jumped in on that kelp patty. Here is the kelp patty. You can see these little tiny fish, but not enough bait to attract yellowtail. Definitely nothing around, so the boat came and picked me up. I try not to have the boat too close to the patty. I try to swim quietly to the patty, but regardless, there was nothing there. Here's the next spot, and by this point, I know it seems quick, but we've already been diving for almost an hour, and we're not finding any sign of pelagics. I love the beautiful bouldery terrain and kelp forest. This is a really nice piece of structure, and it's what we look for. I'm already getting the feeling that we're gonna switch from targeting yellowtail to having fun focusing on our free diving and targeting other species. This boat came out of nowhere, and look how close it is to our boat. It's like 80 or 90 feet away, and I kind of made myself visible to them, and as soon as I went underwater they motored 10 yards closer to me. I went under again, and I come up, and they're even closer just by a little bit, but I could hear them motoring every time I would go down. They actually got so close that I had to kind of yell at them, and I am not going to show that clip because it wasn't a conversation I'm proud of, but I firmly believe that you have to yell at boats that do this to make it a negative experience for them, so they know that it's not okay to just park right on top of or within 300 feet of a boat with a dive flag. One thing that I'm really attentive to when I'm doing my dive is to not look at the ocean floor. It's good practice, I've found, to keep your neck tucked, your chin tucked. And so you'll see in a lot of dives I'm looking horizontally and not arching my neck to look at the ocean floor as much as I want to. Sometimes I'll take a quick peek, but I believe the best practice is to keep your neck chin tucked. Sitting on the bottom. I'm actually on my knees. The weight of my negative buoyancy is just keeping me there. A little bit of bait here. The bait looks really calm. It doesn't look like it's being hunted by anything. Again, I'm doing a drop and pointing my spear down, and you can see I'm looking right at my spear. Murky visibility in this one. Every dive that I'm showing you, there's about 5 dives in between. And we're moving around, still looking for good spots. We found a little bit of current here, a little bit of bait, but with all of us in the water and after 2 hours, no sighting of yellowtail, it's apparent it's going to be one of those days where they just haven't really shown up at the islands yet. But better to be prepared for them. This is one of my last dives, holding out hope for pelagics. What I think happened is, coming up, I hit a little bit of kelp and my camera got turned downward, and so it's pointed more at the sea floor that I'm not actually looking right at the floor like that. And this is going to come up later in this video. There is a big moment for me that I thought I was recording and I had the angle a little too low. We're going to take a look at that. I love cruising through the kelp. That's a kelp holdfast, that big tangly thing. And when they break loose from the rocks like that and they float around, they can eventually form amazing kelp patties.
You cleaning an urchin?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, beautiful.
But guys, try to toughen them if you want more. I'm saying I left my gun on top of it if you want to get some yourself. I'm going to bring it for lunch.
Oh, nice.
And to your sushi.
I don't have a bag on me, but I'm going to slowly make my way back to the boat.
That's what I was doing.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's time to unload the big gun. I love that Neritic gun that I recently got. It actually cruises through the kelp quite nicely, but Nathan is right. It's time for lunchtime pretty soon, and I want to catch a couple of fish for sashimi. And so I'm going to swap it out for the koa. Looks like Thomas has got something already. A good sized calico. This ends up being over an 18-inch calico. You should gut your fish right away, and it can also help to bring in other fish. the koa single roller with a kicker band. Little playful harbor seal right there. I decided to move when I see the harbor seals. They're fun and they follow you, but they kind of keep the fish away. This one found me again, even though I kind of moved over. Just can't get away from this harbor seal. I think this is actually after we pulled anchor and moved. This might be another one, but down here looking for fish, I see a nice ledge and it looks like there's going to be scallops on there. And so on one of these dives I place my gun next to the ledge to mark the spot, and now I'm getting ready to dive down and get some scallops. These gloves have impact resistance that make it safe to punch the scallops without damaging your hand. And the scallop that I find down here actually is at an angle not conducive to punching, so I use the back of my knife to break it off. Taking a quick peek around, making sure I'm not missing any beautiful monster fish. Not seeing anything, and so I hone in on the scallop. This first one cracks off nicely. The second one, though, takes me 2 drops to get. I'm wailing on it here and it won't come out. Don't want to bend my knife. I end up having to come and find that one later. But on the very next drop, when I went to go look for it, I find a sheephead. Take a shot at it, turn the camera on, and now I'm pulling it in, and right at this moment it slips off of the shaft, and now it is free floating, not on the shaft, half paralyzed, and I chase it into this hole where it's kind of trying to work its way into this cave. I'm going to show that again. Kind of a zoomed in view. Right there it popped off the shaft. Heads toward the cave. It's more of a swim through. And as I go in to grab it, I find myself in the swim through, and I'm focused on nothing but trying to bear hug the fish and bring it to me. Kind of slowed it down, and next thing you know, I'm halfway through the swim through, and so I just continue on through it and look back, there it is. It was really lucky to get that fish, and fortunately the shot had paralyzed it. I had a new shaft on that koa and hadn't tuned the flopper, and so the flopper kind of flopped down and popped right out. Fortunately, no fish were injured and got away. This one is coming home with me. I always brain and gut the fish immediately to preserve the meat quality. I went back to the boat and tapped on the flopper a little bit to try to tune it. So it's about lunchtime, and I got another opaleye.
My grandmother just used to boil everything, so that's how I know how to do it. Everything just kind of tastes like sea. You scared the f out of me when you just popped up out of nowhere next to me. Were you chasing that fish?
No, I was just watching you, and then I saw that massive opaleye spool come right there.
The way you came in, I thought you were like swimming after the fish.
No, I was like right behind you, just watching you for a minute.
Second plate, Michael.
Oh, you know what you could do? You could use my Rubbermaid container.
No, we'll be able to pass me that, please. It's on the seats. You mind if I just put on the lid so it doesn't taste like beef?
You can, yeah, just rinse it out in the ocean.
1-star cuisine on 1-star silverware. What is this? The eggs of it.
It's like the sex organ. I don't know if it's male or female or not.
This is sex female. If it's a sex organ. I don't want to be eating really. That's a fat one. We used to brand and castrate at the same time. Whilst the branding iron's getting hot, you're just cooking balls. Keep yourself well fed.
Oh, just from 2?
Yeah. Easier than filleting fish, that's for sure.
Alright, I'm gonna try the calico. I never tried calico sashimi. It was good.
It's firm.
Very firm, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna try it compared to the opalite. You know what we forgot? Pickled ginger.
I was just thinking how this was without it.
Alright, we're ready to move, and the anchor's stuck. Nathan's gonna go down and see if he can get it out. Guess you can pull him in with it too. He's sinking. There it is. What was it stuck on?
It was just in a rock.
In a rock?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, we're back underwater. Lavon, Nathan's friend, had just said that he wasn't feeling really good and didn't want to do any more diving, didn't have any fish, and so we all just started popping fish for him. I had grabbed a few fish for myself and kind of went into hunting mode. This is a nice calico, turned out to be 17.5 inches. Grabbing an opaleye. You don't have to tell me twice to put fish on the boat. A lot of dives I will not catch anything if I have a full freezer and just enjoy the environment and film my friends and I. But I transitioned into taking fish. And from here on out, things start to get a little bit more exciting. This is a good size opaleye, kind of light in color. I like when opaleye have a little bit of variation. I like to take a moment to admire the fish. I mean, they're beautiful. And I think this Koa spear gun is beautiful, and I'm in reverie sometimes, forgetting about any issues or problems I have in my life. Just enjoying floating out there in the ocean. This is maybe my favorite shot of the day. So I'm lining up on a big opaleye. Take a look to make sure there's not a bigger model around. And I see what looks like an ocean whitefish off in the distance. And so I line up on it. Sure enough, it's a whitefish. Connect with a good shot, but these fish have a lot of energy for their size. They really fight, and I know I've got a good holding shot. Pull it in to me. Gosh, they're slippery. And just take a minute to celebrate.
Oh yeah, ocean whitefish. Woo! Oh my! Oh, these are hard to find. Ah.
These are really good eating. Actually, say what you will about the prevalence of whitefish, I almost never see them, at least in good size. I think they prefer a little bit deeper water. I'm really buzzing on that catch and cruising around the structure, not in a rush to shoot something right away. I see a big calico here lining up on it, but I decided it's not worth the chase. Once you're chasing a calico, you're already a step behind, and often you're not going to catch them.
hope you're going hungry, brother. Got your plate of fish.
Oh.
What do you get?
Flying some perch all around, but the best spot's right here by the boat.
Right, that's what I was thinking too, man.
Show me your stringer.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Nice. All right, last spot of the day. Let's see what we find.
So right away I found a good eating size female transitioning California sheephead and took that one for Nathan's friend. And this was my favorite drop of the day by far. Right here in the corner of my view, I see, there it is, a black seabass, and this is a massive one. Unfortunately, I have my camera angle bent down. I think it got caught on kelp earlier, and I get within inches of this fish, but really quickly lose it in the frame. You can just see half of its body. It's something else to be so close to this fish. This part is not in slow motion for these next couple of frames. This is just how slow the fish was moving. And then I do slow it down for a moment just so you can see the size of its tail. I actually had to back away from the fish. It was coming right into me. And I didn't feel like there was any good that could come from touching it. I just wanted to observe it. It had to have been at least 250, 300 pounds. And Thomas found his massive sheephead. Right after he comes up with the sheephead, I do this drop and find another ocean whitefish, which we don't get to see the shot because my camera angle. 2 whitefish in a day is a happy day for me. Of course, none of it compares to swimming with that giant black sea bass.
Another ocean whitefish. It's a little bit smaller, but dude, they're such good eating. Woo! This is a good spot. He's gonna rip off. These are more skittish than calico.
Dude, I haven't even seen it yet.
It's camouflage, so they don't know that I'm going to shoot them.
So just as I wrap this camo to try to bring in a fish, it actually brings in this big sea lion, and he's aggressively trying to get my fish full. So maybe it wasn't such a good idea given that we were right next to a big colony of them.
Those sea lions want to take our fish.
I clean off the tip of my spear gun and we make our way back to the boat. I'm still buzzing from the sea bass. That's only the second black sea bass I've seen in person, and this one was bigger than the last one. It's an unforgettable fish to swim with.
Nathan, do you want some watermelon?
No, thank you. The texture of watermelon freaks me out. No, we found that this morning though. Big white ones.
Alright, it's the next day and I have too many fish here. Hey, bub. These are what Thomas and I are taking home. Nathan and the other guy took home their fish, and somehow we got left with probably 50 pounds of fish, so I got a lot of filleting to do. Alright, I accidentally left my fillet knife at the bottom of the ocean yesterday, so I got this new one. It's only 6 inches, but it's all they had at 10 o'clock at night at Smart and Final. So we're going to be trying out the First Street 6-inch boning knife by Smart & Final. I'm not actually sponsored by them, but we're gonna see how the Smart & Final knife does. Like the curve to it. Let's go. You gonna help me?
Yeah.
How are you gonna help me?
What's that knife?
You need another knife?
Yeah.
Alright.
I need knife.
Let me go get you a knife.
I need knife.
I bet you do.
I need a button. No.
Bet you do. Here, let me get you a knife. Don't touch this one though.
That's my knife.
This is your knife. We're also going to be trying out the toddler wooden knife today. It's about 4 inches. Does it work? Here, why don't you know what? Why don't you cut your donkey and your horsey, and I'll cut the fish. Is that okay?
No.
You want to cut the fish too? All right. Well, there you go. Yeah.
I like that.
When you take the meat off of a fish, it's called a fillet. This is our first fillet of the whitefish.
You guys have like a grapefruit tree or an orange tree or something?
How told it, Thomas? We have told it. We have told
You have to cook it.
We have told it.
We've got to cook it.
We have told it.
These fillet so nicely, like
Yeah.
the knife just slides through them.
Yeah.
Maybe this Smart & Final knife is like actually just incredible.
That's my knife.
Fucking buy them $50 Dexters. $9.99.
I had to help you.
Yeah, you are helping me. Thank you. Yep, you're getting it right up in there. And then these bones right here, we go under those. Get that belly meat off. Beautiful.
Hey! 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 Hey!
They are slippery fish.
I touched the tractor. I went up there.
I like the Dexter because it was like 11 inches, and you could take the skin off of a fillet off of like a really big sheep with that. This
Yeah.
one, I don't know if it will reach. Will you hand me that plate, that like China looking plate? Just sit on the stove right there.
That view is
That's
really
the
nice.
We would go on sport fishing boats back in the
You
day,
had to.
and if you landed on a patch of whitefish, the captain wanted to move. He was like, we got whitefish again. But they were really good. We were after yellowtail and rockfish only though. Actually, that's where we would catch a lot of whitefish, is when we were going for rockfish. You fish for rockfish in 100 to 300 feet of water. Yeah. Here at the Channel Islands, and if you were in 100 150 feet of water, you'd pick up all these whitefish. And I don't know why more people don't love them. Beautiful.
I feel like diving that deep for a fish is like unheard of for California spearhead.
Oh yeah,
Nobody dives 100 feet plus.
Yeah.
In California.
In Italy, you got like 60-year-olds diving freaking 140 feet for like a 15-inch Dentex, and down here they're like, I'm probably gonna run a 50-foot float line with a banana float.
I feel like you really don't need more than that unless you really cannot get your hands on the float line.
Yeah. Which, like, that could happen. Like, you could be in a situation where you're at the end of your breath hold and you make one swipe at the float line and it gets away from you and you have to go up.
You also have to be mindful of how deep you're shooting the fish at, because the fish is 100 feet. I mean, if you're shooting the fish down at 50 feet, you only have 50 feet of float line, and the fish is gonna be literally stretching your float line until you can barely get up to the surface.
But if you have the banana float, those things go right under. So even if you're doing an 80-foot dive on a 50-foot float line, it doesn't matter. The banana float will follow you right there.
I mean, coming back up. If you shoot the fish at 80 feet, you have to drag it back up.
Okay.
And you only have 50 feet of float line.
Oh, right. That's true. Yeah, I really like that neritic gun. I thought about putting a reel mount on it.
A reel mount?
Yeah.
I would get a 3-banded gun that's a little bit smaller, and then put a reel on that, and that would be a perfect everything.
Holy crap, this raw whitefish is so good. Fish. So you want to try it? I'm sorry I didn't give you any soy sauce.
Yeah. You want to go get in your toddler tower?
Yeah.
And Dad will feed you fish?
I want soy sauce. Okay? I had to get it.
What are you going to go get?
Soy sauce.
Oh.
From the table.
Oh, that's open. Thomas, will you grab that soy sauce? Give me a little bowl for Arlo.
Okay.
Yeah. He would try to get it.
It's so there.
Yeah, we have it. We have it whenever you get over here.
Well, he has his gymnastics. And his swim class right after. Kind of a busy day.
Cut more fish.
Cut more fish. I love calico, but I didn't really like it raw.
Here you go, Bobby.
It's surprising for you.
Right? No, they have a flavor that is better enjoyed cooked, I feel like. But yeah, I normally like everything raw.
You okay?
That's very nice. Sir.
How are you going to cook the one sheep that you keep?
Probably ceviche on one side, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other fillet. What do you recommend?
If it were me, I would for sure do sashimi. And if you're worried about parasites, you can put it in a deep freezer for a week. But yeah, I love sashimi sheephead. Apparently, in Florida they have sheep's head, and in California it's called sheephead, singular. The Florida sheep's head looks nothing like ours.
Ours looks better though.
Oh yeah, for sure. They may have wahoo and all that, but our sheephead look cooler. All right, you ready to measure these ones? It doesn't, it's just broken. Just just bend it. Yeah. There you go.
Just about
24 and a half. All right, let's see if this one's bigger or smaller.
a little bit smaller.
But it's like fatter for sure.
Yeah.
I need to get a scale. Oh, measure that, Calico. That's gotta be, I'm guessing 18. Oh, that's beating 18 for sure. It's like 18 and a third. All right, just for my records, I gotta measure this opali. Wait, put it up a little bit. It's too past its tail. Yeah. All right, 17-inch opali. I don't. More fish cutting. Good solid couple of pounds of ocean whitefish fillet right here.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. On the Coronado Islands trip with the...
Yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday for the Coronados.
Yeah, see you then.
Alright, under Thomas's recommendation, I decided to keep the opali whole and scale it. One whole opali. A little bit of a smaller one. Good size. Got my horse or dog groomer or whatever tool this is, but I find it to be really good for scaling fish. Look at that. Easy. Coming right off. Oh my gosh, such a beautiful fish. Look at that. The humble opali. It is really a versatile fish. Call that one done. All right, 2 for 2. They clean this up before it dries on here. Can you borrow this for a second, bub? I just had to hose my table off. It's not good to rinse your fillets in fresh water, but the outside of a scaled fish, I don't think it matters. It's like the municipal water supply could have bacteria in it, and you don't want to introduce bacteria. Other people say it has something to do with the texture of the fillet. Anyway, this is not a fillet, so. Unrelated to fish, come look at what we're having for dinner. Top sirloin, you know it's homegrown. This day and age, you never know what they're doing to your food. Try to catch it and grow it yourself. Alright, we're probably good to smoke these fish. Maybe not right now. Maybe tomorrow. Put them back in the fridge. Maybe dry age them for a day.
Alright, I got my sheephead hump right here. I'm gonna put it in the pan with hot oil. Little fried cheese. Sheephead hump on Spanish rice. With a little fried cheese. Hot sauce. Oh yeah, it's like crispy but juicy in the middle. Look at this. Can you see that? Liquid fat. The hump of a sheephead. Almost reminds me of a burnt marshmallow with crispy outside and the gooey middle. Best part. Alright guys, well that's about all for this one. Probably gonna smoke that opal eye. Got a freezer full of fish. Everybody got a bunch of fish. Had a great time. Didn't see any yellowtail, but tune in for the next one. We're going to the Coronados. Hopefully we'll find yellowtail there.